Skip it up and that up. So Google Stadia, at best, is off to a very, very rough start. Let's get into it. Do you have one of these? Do you have a Switch Lite or do you have a regular Switch? Then you should get a Satisfy gaming grip. They're a sponsor of this channel and I absolutely love their products. They make the Switch Lite and Switch really ergonomic. I use the grip on my Switch Lite especially all the time, and they also have awesome cases that you could store all of your accessories in, down to the power supply and everything else, all of your games. And there's also a link below in the description. If you use the code ReviewTech10, you'll get 10% off your entire order. I can't recommend these grips enough, and thank you to Satisfy for sponsoring these videos. So for very long-esque videos like this, I'm trying something a little bit different because I'm going to be citing the article quite a bit, going back, giving my take, citing the article again. And I think this kind of radio-esque format for these kinds of videos will actually work pretty good. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm also going to have a regular format video using my GH5 in the back. And if I continue doing the longer form videos like this where I have a lot to say about some gaming news, I'm going to improve the camera. I'm not just going to use this Logitech camera I have right here. But I think with the audio quality that I get and going back and forth between the article, I think this would be a smoother content consumption experience for you guys. I guess that's the right way to word it. But anyway, so Google Stadia, it's a thing. Admittedly, I actually bought one because my curiosity got the best of me, even though I said I wouldn't. So you could write your flip-flop tech USA comments below in the description. And admittedly, I haven't had a bad experience with it. The service from Google, the game streaming service, launched in November. I just got it recently, so I didn't have any of the hiccups people initially had where they didn't get their unlock codes and all this other stuff. So I tried Borderlands 3, I played Rage 2, and I played Destiny 2 on there. And I'm playing it on a 75-inch 4K TV, and let me tell you something. Minus Rage 2. Rage 2, I feel it a little bit. Minus Rage 2, I feel no lag. Rage 2, it's still more than playable. And even as big and blown up as it is on my 4K TV, I don't feel like I'm playing a game that's streaming from the cloud. I feel like I'm playing it on a native console or PC. Would I recommend buying it? Hell no. I would not recommend buying it because, one, it needs a lot more features. It needs a bunch of things to work. It needs more games. And two, I know Google, and they could drop Stadia like a large turd in the toilet if they just don't see profitability in the long run. And things are already looking not good for Stadia. So let's get into it. This article is from the Business Insider. And yeah, people are already pissed off with the service. Even people who were Stadia faithfuls from the beginning are already angry and already pissed off at the service's lack of features, it not actually living up to its promises, so on and so forth. But let's start actually, before we get into Business Insider, let me start on the Stadia subreddit. This comes from posted with Jesus with an accent 5 days ago. This is what he wrote about the service. Let me first start with the fact that I have been blindly in support of Stadia since it was first announced. All of my friends told me it would suck. Your friends were right. Even though, like I said, I've had a good experience with it, but it's still, it's nowhere near fleshed out enough that it could replace a gaming PC or console. Not even close. It wouldn't amount to anything, they told him, not to waste my money. But founders on day one of it being announced. I would do a Google search for Stadia almost daily at work just to see news articles about it. Fast forward to arrival today, so excited. Once I finally got my key, threw it all together, and played the hell out of it. I was having a blast, played at home, in my bedroom, at work, at the in-laws, wherever I could. I tried to show it off to everyone, all the doubters out there. They would want me to show them all the cool stuff it could do. Then started the excuses, meaning from Google. Oh yeah, the controller will be wireless eventually, because unless you use it with the Chromecast Ultra, the Stadia controller, which is very comfortable, admittedly, you have to have it plugged in via USB-C. Want to use it? You use it on Google Pixel phones. The phones are if you have an iPhone, forget about it. You ain't using Stadia on an iPhone. You actually have to have it plugged in, which, seriously, Google, what is this, 1997? Oh, yeah, only Pixel phones work for it right now, like I just said. Oh, yeah, 4K will be supported eventually. It's on the game developers, not Stadia, to make that happen. Even though when they first revealed Stadia, they bragged about how much more powerful it was than even like the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro combined. But then we find out like Red Dead Redemption and other games aren't even running at native 4K. They're just upscaling it to native 4K or upscaling it to 4K, which is pretty ridiculous when you could play Red Dead Redemption 2 on an Xbox One X and it plays in native 4K. So the less powerful console is playing at a higher resolution than the all-powerful Stadia. The all-powerful Stadia. I would ask people to try it out, as I had 2 buddy passes. Nobody really cared after looking at it. It was gimmicky, and nobody thought of it as this new amazing thing, understandably. Fast forward to today. It feels like it's dead already. I check daily on there. Stadia Store, news stories, and Ghost Town. For anyone that's been around for a new gaming console coming out, it's crazy for the first year of it coming out. Huge lineup of games constantly being thrown out. That's not always necessarily true. Sometimes it's a slow trickle, then like you get the avalanche of games. That feature all being announced, so much fun. Here I am trying to enjoy and justify the $130 I spent on all this, and I just can't at this point. We got tricked into being beta testers, and it pisses me off. And he's right. He's very right. Some may not care, but personally, if I knew this is what I was getting as a founder, I would have saved my money for when it came out for everyone else for free. At least maybe by then, the features we were promised would be released. That, or it would have already died and I didn't waste my money. Controller is being put away, subscription is being canceled, damn, this guy's pissed, and forgetting about it until I hear we are out of beta and we are giving what we are promised. Good for him, man. You know what? I totally agree with him, and he's 100% right. Even though Stadia is better than I thought, it's not worth the money. It's absolutely not worth the money. Now, Google rep Patrick Saybold said there are 6 key features that they fixed in Stadia since it launched, and I'll go over those now. 1, they added more games to the library, which is 26 titles, one which is exclusive to Stadia. 2, they updated existing Chromecast Ultra devices so that they were able to run Stadia. Whoop-de-doo. 3, they purchased a game studio. Great, you purchased one game studio. Added Google Assistant support and game achievements, which they did. I noticed that firsthand from playing. I got some achievements. Added Stream Connect and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Added a second buddy pass for Stadia users. But you still don't have basic things like voice chat, Google. How do you launch a game platform, streaming or not, in 2019, late 2019, let's just say 2020, and it doesn't have voice chat, when like the PS3 and Xbox 360 had voice chat? Granted, there was cross-chat issues with the PS3 due to its divided RAM, and it didn't have one pool of RAM like the 360, but we're getting technical about consoles that are no longer relevant, so who cares? But they had voice chat, at least some form of voice chat. You have none at all so far. Why in Chrome, if I want to play Stadia in Chrome, I can't play games in 4K? Why does the controller only work wirelessly with the Chromecast Ultra? Why do I have to have it hooked up to a wire if I use it on a phone? And why does it only work with Pixel phones? And why, when there's millions upon millions upon millions of people with iPhones, do you not have the app ready on there? Which I love Google. Like, for example, the YouTube Creators app, it's like 10 leagues behind the app on Android. Like, doesn't matter whether I own an Android phone or not, which I own an Android phone too. I have a Galaxy S10 as well, which I bought. Why do I get the crappier experience from you on an iPhone? If you release an app, Google, it should be the same quality no matter what platform it's on. But then there's other news too, that already the players in Destiny 2 are halved on Stadia from what they were when it first launched. This is coming from VideoGamesChronicle.com. Forbes reports that 19,400 active players were recorded on the title a week after its November 19th launch, while only little over 8,000 were active as of January 2nd, representing a decline of 58.7%. Almost 60% decline for Destiny 2 on the Stadia platform. Now, you could get into the argument that, look, if someone's playing, Stadia is a couple years old now, more than a couple years old, and people, if they're already playing it on the PS4, Xbox One, or PC, they're just sticking to those platforms. Understandable argument, but if you're launching a new gaming service or platform, you would expect, especially if it's the free game that comes with your Founders Edition of Stadia, for there to be much bigger numbers. Even like I would expect like 100,000 or 80,000 or something like that. Those numbers, even 19,400 for a game you get with the bundle, is pathetically low. Pathetically low. And look, I bought the service because I was curious, Flip Flop Tech USA, but I expected this to happen, man. And the problem is that most of the games that are on there, minus one game, let me look it up now, minus the one game, Guilt, which I'm hearing isn't great. I haven't tried it yet personally, but I'm hearing it's not good. All the other games you can get everywhere else, and they'll look and run better. Go watch Digital Foundry. Go watch their analysis of Destiny 2 on Stadia compared to the consoles. Yes, it runs at 60, but it kind of doesn't matter that it runs at 60 on Stadia, because the latency, which is very minimal, admittedly, it impressed the hell out of me. There's still the latency there, so it doesn't give you more precise controls that you would get with higher frame rates on a local piece of hardware like a console or PC. So you don't really, it looks smoother, but you're not getting that more accurate gameplay or more accurate controls due to the higher frame rate. It just is more pleasing to the eye. But the games aren't... Destiny 2 is not running at 4K. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not running at 4K. You can't do voice chat. They have Borderlands 3, which is a co-op game. Can't do voice chat. Can't do voice chat in it. What are you doing, Google? What are you doing with Stadia? This is the problem I have with Google, is they launch a service, and I feel like if it doesn't fly out the gates and is wildly successful right away, I feel like they half give up on it. Now, who knows, man? A year from now, we may have a different story. They may come out with these 120 games. They may get more studios under their belt. They may fix all the issues they're having with the service right now. They may cut down on the price of it. They may cut down on the price, because the prices of games also are ridiculous on there. They're expensive as hell for just having the privilege of being able to stream the game to your computer. You're not getting ones and zeros. You're not actually getting data at all. You're just streaming from the cloud, and you're paying full AAA price for some of these games to just stream to your TV or your phone or playing on Chrome on your PC. But I don't know where they're going to go with it. Let's see if they fix everything. Let's see if they fix everything, cut the prices, and see if there's a future for Stadia. Because cloud gaming is the inevitable future. I still hold to that. But they launched it as a beta. Everyone who's complaining on Reddit is right. They launched it and it feels like a beta Stadia. And they let people pay $130 to be Google's guinea pigs. And it's absolutely unacceptable. And Stadia right now is in a world of trouble. They could turn things around. Hopefully they do. Hell, technically I'm invested in it right now, so I hope they do. But things are not looking good for Google's cloud gaming service. And I just hope they stick with it to at least allow things to turn around. But Google's track record isn't that good with that. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. Hey, if you enjoy my content, consider becoming a Review Tech USA member. I'll have a link below in the description. I live stream now on this channel all the time, and it gives you access to cool emoticons to use as well while I live stream. Again, link below in the description. Thank you for your continued support.